Welcome to Forum 360 on Fusion, your PBS channel and your Rubber City radio stations. I'm Stephanie York, your host today. Thank you for joining us on our global outlook with a local view. Whether you are right out of high school and looking to jump into the next hot career, or an attorney looking to expand your business by offering tax and finance advice as a CPA, there's a new kid in town that is offering alternative higher education degrees at an extremely affordable cost. Stark State University. From just down the road in Canton, Stark State is making a splash in the Akron area, building a new college facility right next to the University of Akron. Construction has already started on the 50,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility and is expected to be completed in the next 2 years. But does this area, with so many options already, need another higher education choice? There are currently 63 colleges and universities within 50 miles of Akron. 6 are community and junior colleges, and that includes Stark State and Canton, just 15 miles south of Akron. The students in our community say we do. And today, I'm talking with Dr. Para Jones, president of Stark State University, about the value of alternative higher education degrees, the collaboration between technical colleges and traditional universities, and the growing need for specialized degrees in today's employment climate. Welcome, Dr. Jones.
Thank you.
Yes, I would like to start off with you telling us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up at the helm of Stark State University.
Well, I've been at Stark State for 30 years now, with the exception of a few years when I took my first presidency in South Carolina. I started at the college back in 1987 after having a career in business. My first jobs out of college included Goodyear Aerospace and Roadway Express. From the time I began at Stark State, what made so much sense to me is that Stark State's education is so focused on preparing students very, very specifically for work.
And tell us a little bit about Stark State College and how it differs from a traditional four-year university.
Sure. About 80% of our students come to us for our applied technology degrees. These are associate degrees designed specifically to prepare students for high demand jobs. For example, high demand jobs in engineering technology, information technology, health, public service, and human services. Some examples include all of our health programs. We have about almost 30 different certificate and associate degrees, everything from dental hygiene to medical massage, preparing students for high demand careers in health.
Wonderful. And can you describe your traditional student? Is there such thing as a traditional student in your college?
Yes, our traditional student is a non-traditional student. So I know that sounds like paradoxical language. So let me explain that. Our average age is 29. We tend to, like all of higher ed today, we tend to be more female than male. A lot of that is because of our high percentage of students enrolled in health sciences. But our students are working adults. So we really look different than a traditional four-year university. The majority of our students come to us, again, for those applied technology degrees. Those are associate degrees, 2-year degrees, that lead directly to work. Now, that doesn't mean our students don't go on for 4-year degrees, because they do. Many of them do that while working and when they can afford it or their employers can help them pay for it. But again, the vast majority, 80%, come because they want to pursue that 2-year degree that leads to a high demand job here, right here in Northeast Ohio.
And I've heard a lot about the affordability of Stark State. Can you explain or tell us what
that means?
The cost is per credit hour and how that differs
Sure.
from the traditional school.
So let me tell you what that really means to our students, and I hear from them all the time about this. Our tuition is $153.60 a credit hour. For 1 year, a full-time student will pay around $4,500. And because we're a commuter school, there is no room and board. So we are dramatically less expensive than any other option, whether it is a public institution or a private institution or a proprietary institution, a for-profit institution. Our tuition is significantly lower, and we like to show that on our website because we feel there are far too many students, too many parents, and too many citizens in Northeast Ohio who really don't know about us and don't know about our affordability.
How are you able to keep costs so low?
Well, our faculty work very hard in the classroom. They are all teaching. And so that certainly is one of the reasons that our faculty devote all their time to teaching. They don't publish, they don't do research. Those are not part of what we do at the community college. So that helps a great deal. But we're also very sensitive to the fact that our students aren't looking for a lot of the amenities that one might find at other public institutions. They're really focused on quality education, which means small class sizes, so we focus on that. Good technology, that means well-equipped classrooms and laboratories, and then that faculty member who can really talk about both the discipline and the world of work. Our students are really looking for that connection to the careers that they're pursuing.
And Stark State is doing great. Right now, they're expanding and building a new 50,000 square foot facility right in the heart of Akron, right downtown. And interesting enough, immediately adjacent to the University of Akron. Was there any pushback from the University of Akron or the community about Stark State opening in this location?
Well, first of all, let me address the location.
Please.
It's excellent and couldn't be better. And the location was something we spent a lot of time on. We actually had focus group meetings with community leaders, with educational partners, including the University of Akron during the 2-year period when we were looking for the right location for Stark State College Akron. And two of the important entities, 3 of the important entities that helped to influence our decision. 1, the City of Akron, having that incredible property available. 2, Summit County encouraging Stark State to look at locating in Summit County and Akron. And then 3, Akron Public Schools, one of our very strong partners, and the fact that the location would be accessible to people living in Akron, probably the most accessible location we could ever hope for. And then there's a 4th reason, I should confess. As I mentioned early in my career, I worked in Akron, and I understand personally and professionally how important that central interchange and Route 8 corridor are to access for people who live throughout the region, not just in Summit and Akron. So I had a little bit of a preference for something that would be off of Route 8 and certainly in the city of Akron. So that addresses the location. We feel we were so fortunate to have the partnership with the city of Akron, which made that wonderful, incredible, unique space available. In terms of us coming to Akron, I have said to the leadership at the University of Akron many times, we will always understand that the University of Akron is first in Akron and Summit County. Our goal is to be a good second, a good option for students who perhaps would not go to the university, or a good option for students who tried to go to the university and it just didn't work out for them. The real reason the whole conversation around the Stark State College Akron campus began was from our own students. We've served students from Akron and Summit County since we opened our doors back in 1960. And so for decades, we have served students who've come to us for what we offer, that affordable associate degree that leads to rewarding employment. What was happening is students were coming to my office saying, Dr. Jones, you have a campus in Barberton, you have a campus in Alliance. Can't you build a campus in Akron? It's getting more and more difficult for me to get to campus to be able to finish my program because of work, because of family, because I don't have reliable transportation. So it was really our own students and their needs that began the conversation about Stark State College Akron. And so what we've been trying to do, because people do ask, why do we need Stark State College? I explain our mission and then people understand how we're different.
And as I said in my intro, there are currently 63 colleges and universities within 50 miles of Akron. I know that's no surprise to you. And 6 of those are community and junior colleges. And that includes Stark State, which is just 15 miles in North Canton, or in Canton. Can there be too many higher education institutions in an area, and are we nearing that saturation point?
Good question. I think I would answer that by saying that even with many wonderful institutions, and you're quite right, we have community colleges in Cuyahoga County, Lorain County, Lake County, excuse me, and Stark County, with Stark State, prior to our Stark State College, Akron and Summit County. But what we know is the adult students who need education are looking for convenience. They're looking for an institution where they can attend class in the evening, or they can attend class in the morning, go to work, and come back in the evening and take another class, or they can be able to attend class and get home quickly to take care of children. Really, that locational convenience is key for the adult students we serve. So we thought about that. We thought about, is this campus really needed? And actually looked at perhaps running what we called an education express bus from Akron to Canton. But the more we looked at it, we realized that that would really not help that working student who needed the access. So one answer I would give you is based on our experience of serving adult students for almost 60 years. We know how important the location is. And so that was a factor in our decision. But we also know that the state's goals are to have 65% of our population have a post-secondary certificate or degree by 2020. And we have a long way to go to get there.
Do you know where we're at now on that?
I believe, so again, some of this is national data,
Sure.
and I wish I had all of it off the top of my head, but nationally, we know that bachelor degree holders are around 37%. So we are very low in the number of bachelor's degrees compared to the national average in Ohio and in Northeast Ohio. So I can tell you it's below that.
Okay.
In terms of associate degrees, that's another area where we've got to focus, not just on the associate degree itself, but on a certificate that aligns with the real jobs that exist in Northeast Ohio. So if you look at the Team NEO data or any of our regional data from Connexus NEO, data from Ohio Means Jobs, we have a historic mismatch between the education and skills of people who live in Northeast Ohio and the actual jobs that exist. So Stark State, because so many of our programs do align with those high demand, those in-demand career fields, I think Stark State has a unique opportunity to help with that alignment, and indeed those are our strategic goals at the college.
How do you find where the missing pieces are for education in a community? So you said there's this big disconnect.
Yes.
How do you find that, and do businesses help you find that?
So, well, great. That's really a great question, and kind of leads to a new program. So historically, we have always tracked Bureau of Labor Statistics. We've looked at local employment data. We have our own career services office that I check in with every month to find out, tell me what are the top career fields employers are calling about. So that has remained consistent for a couple of years. We know what those fields are. They're IT, they're healthcare, and engineering, technology, or manufacturing. So that has remained very consistent for years. So those are programs that we offer. And we offer both the certificate, which is, a shorter term pathway, a pathway for students who perhaps don't have any higher education. They want to start first with the certificate and then build into the associate degree. But in the meantime, you asked something key, Stephanie, and that's about the employers. We have employers very, very interested in the students who complete that certificate, and they want to hire those young people or older people or skilled people, and they want to put them to work now. Many of these employers will provide tuition reimbursement for our students to continue on for their associate degree and beyond. So what we're really seeing in this employment market is so much urgency on the part of employers worried about being able to fill their workforce needs in these in-demand areas. Again, IT, healthcare, manufacturing, and engineering, technology, basically industry. They're so worried that they're approaching us in unprecedented numbers and ways to help them find talent and recruit the talent, educate the talent, they hire the talent, and then help with continuing to educate. And I could give a shout out to a company in Summit County that really defines this beautifully, DRB Systems, a company that makes the front and back office hardware and software for the automated car wash industry. So they have customers all over the country, and their number one limitation to growth is workforce. So the leader of that company, Dan Pittman, came to us and said, we need your help. And basically met with a big team of Stark State people, and he showed us what he wanted to do, and then we began working with his team to create just what I've described, a pathway that our students, actually, I should back up to high school students, because we're actually working with our high school partners to identify students with the needed interest and skills, get those high school students to earn some college credit plus industry recognized credentials, and then those high school students can actually graduate from high school, get a job with DRB. DRB is willing to pay their tuition so they can continue on for an associate degree and beyond, wherever they want to go.
Well, that sounds like a win-win for everyone, really.
It's a new, I see it as a whole new way of defining college to career.
Right, and the jobs are there. You know they're going to be there because the businesses are asking for them. Very interesting. It was recently announced, I think I heard you say that Stark State is exploring 4-year degrees, and that's typically offered at a traditional university like the University of Akron. Are you stepping on any toes here?
So, great question. Again, these are applied bachelor's degrees, and I'll tell you what those mean for Stark State.
Please.
As I mentioned, health is one of our big areas of study and career preparation. So we have some health technology fields, specifically occupational therapy assisting and dental hygiene. 2 programs we offer that are really not available anywhere else in Akron, Canton, or the surrounding area. In both of those areas, the new education requirement for students to be able to sit for their national licensure exam. These are all programs that are accredited by respective organizations, like in the case of occupational therapy assisting, it's the Accrediting Commission for Occupational Therapy Assisting, or ACOTA. In the case of dental hygiene, they have their respective accrediting body. Both accrediting bodies are looking to move the minimum education requirement to a bachelor's degree to enable our students to sit for that licensure exam, which is critical for their ability to go to work and serve the needs of healthcare providers in our region. So we see that as a very special case and a situation where we're the best equipped to provide those applied bachelor's degrees. We have the faculty who have both the academic background and requirements as well as the career experience. We have the laboratories. We have the relationship with employers in the region. So we see that as a very special circumstance. We will not be broad-based bachelor's degree, providing broad-based bachelor's degrees as an institution. That's not our mission. We have great confidence that our associate degree applied technology mission is what's needed in the region and what makes us unique.
I'd like to remind our viewers and those who may have joined late, we are here with Dr. Para Jones, president of Stark State University, talking about Stark State's bold move into Akron and the impact specialized 2-year degrees have on our students, our community, and our businesses. So there seems to be more students, at least I noticed, graduating high school and taking the non-traditional route of going to a technical community college. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's probably always been the case that students do that. I believe we just had an event on Saturday called Jumpstart. It's for our new students, and so I had an opportunity. It's kind of a student success activity. Get the students in early, make sure they meet all of us and understand all the different support services we have. And as I talk to the students about why they're coming to Stark State, these are students from all over. Every community you can imagine in multiple counties, contiguous and non-contiguous. And those students were pretty consistent in saying they were coming to us for the specific programs we offer. So students are thinking about programs and careers. So I think that's one reason they're coming. Cost. They are very interested in the best value they can get, and that's another reason. They hear we have small class sizes. Our faculty are able to give the students lots of attention. Our students love that. We hear that again and again, not just from our new students, but from our continuing students, that when you put all of that together, it's an extraordinary opportunity and value in higher education.
What have you done at Stark State that you are most proud of?
I'm proud of knowing our students and continuing to serve our students. So if there is, there's so many examples I could give of that, everything from just making sure I attend events and get to know our students, to opening campuses such as our Stark State College Akron campus, to new programs like dental hygiene. Since I've been there, we, not as president, but during my time at Stark State, we have always looked to offer programs that indeed are in demand. I'm very proud of partnerships with business and industry. We have had for about 21 years a very unique partnership with First Energy, where we prepare line worker technicians and substation technicians for First Energy, and we started that program about, as I said, 21 years ago, and the first call came into me. And at that time I was in a different role, but just as concerned and just as involved and engaged in education that leads to economic prosperity for our students and our businesses. That program has actually grown from our initial Stark State program to 5 different states and 12 different community college partners that First Energy now works with. But we are still a key partner, a core partner, and a deep believer that it is that kind of education that our employers truly need.
And what do you think Stark State's biggest challenge is right now?
Getting the message out. You asked about Stark State College Akron, and again on Saturday we had a great event. I was with lots of students, and many of those students were from Akron and Summit County and Portage County and Wayne County and other places. But I asked them, did you know that we have a campus in Akron? And they're all saying, we know you're building one. So they don't know that we opened at White Pond back in January of 17. And so I think that's one of the challenges that we will continue, one of the opportunities we will continue to work on is that now that we are Stark State College Akron, we have a real opportunity to let more people know about us and what we do. You know how active I am in the community, Stephanie. Sure. I have a lot of people come to me saying, you know what? I never heard of Stark State College before. And I think, wow, we've got some work to do.
That's right. Whether you know it or not, you are a role model for many young women in Northeast Ohio. I think we would all like to know who your role model is and why.
I have a lot of role models, and I change them all the time. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple. One of my role models is Dr. Mary Thornley. She is the president of Trident Technical College in Charleston, South Carolina. Longtime friend. Another role model. Another one of my role models is the president of a community college in New Jersey. In Boston now. She was in New Jersey before. And again, we went through our PhD programs together and stayed friends, and her career and my career took similar paths in different geographies, but I check in with her all the time. She's brilliant. So whether it's Pat or whether it's Mary or whether it is Mary Graham, a friend of mine from Mississippi Gulf Community College, I learned probably too late in life that I've always had a lot of male role models. I could name several male role models, wonderful male role models, including all the way back to my Roadway Express experience. And I shall always value what I learned from my male role models. But it took me a while to learn that female role models can be even more helpful in many ways.
I agree. You're one of my role models.
Oh,
so
thank you,
know.
Stephanie.
So whether you are right out of high school or looking to jump into the next hot career, or an attorney looking to expand your business by offering tax and finance advice as a CPA, there is a place for you to go to get that higher education degree at an extremely affordable cost. I want to thank our guest, Dr. Para Jones, president of Stark State College, for joining us today to talk about the value of alternative higher education degrees, of collaborating with traditional universities, and educating and training students for job success in the 21st century. I'm Stephanie York. Thank you for joining us today on Forum 360 for a global outlook with a local view.
Forum 360 is brought to you with support from Electric Impulse Communications, Kim and Harvey Nelson, Rubber City Radio Group, Akronist.com, Hudson Cable, Medical Mutual of Ohio, Forum 360 supporters, and the Shaw Jewish Community Center of Akron.